Hi, I'm Kimberly Jentzen, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about acting. First of all, thank you for showing up to this video and being with me for these few minutes so that I can talk a little bit about the work and talk about things that might help you pursue your career as well as pursue your goals in acting. One of the things that I've noticed that's a huge issue in class, outside of class, on set, I also direct as well as I have a school called Living the Art Institute. I've noticed that there's a distinction between developing your instrument and also between feeling confident and strong about your work. And I've noticed that there's a huge challenge many times in actors where they don't know where the two live. And so when they're given notes or they're given direction in the work, they often take it personally. And they think it's a reflection that they're not good enough or talented enough or strong enough. A new actor coming in, a novice beginning, and you want to help them with their confidence. So a lot of times when you start an actor, you're just allowing them to explore who they are, explore their range, explore themselves without a lot of notes, without a lot of tremendous amount of criticism, because just getting up there is such a brave thing to do. It's so huge, and a lot of you that are new would be like blown away that you're even in front of the camera or out on stage actually doing it. But there's a time in your career where you're going to want to do more than just be in front of people, and you're going to want to be great. You know, and my objective in my work is never to settle for mediocrity, but rather to push yourselves beyond your own limits so that you really are brilliant. And your basic job description is to move the audience. That's what you need to do. And so part of moving the audience is understanding how to live internally as an actor. And so it's not going to be easy then if you're tied up with your confidence level or your ego is tied up in such a way that every time you hear a note, you have to be told you're okay or you're good. I've also always known that the illness of the artist and the actor is approval. And needing approval can really get in the way of your growth in your instrument. So let's say you're trying to work on your instrument, you're trying to be a better actor, you're trying to be a brilliant performer. You can't worry about what other people think and your audience. You have to just give your instrument the integrity of its growth. And sometimes you're going to do bad work in the process because you're working on yourself. And that's why class is so important. It's crucial that you work in such a way that you don't care what other people think. Because ultimately, it's that journey within yourself and your own growth in your instrument that's going to be out there in the front, the forefront of your work. And if you can't live with you, then it's going to be very difficult to take external criticism. So the first process from novice to professional is being able to isolate the ego a little bit and set your ego aside. If you start to judge the notes as tough notes or mean notes or hard notes or yucky notes, then you're really in your ego. Because the truth is the notes, that is guidance to give you the ingredients to make the performance inspired and brilliant. And if you actually put your ego aside and actually did and executed those very important notes that you're being given, which is going to make you have to realize, or it'll allow you to realize, that acting isn't a lazy profession. And I think sometimes actors just some people just don't want to do a lot and want to be thought of as brilliant without putting the effort or the time in. And in my work, what I've noticed is your competence level is directly related to your confidence level. So that if you feel really competent, you know you have an emotional range, and you can feel, you can cry, you can laugh, you can go to the lighter emotions easily, you can go to the dark emotions easily, you can, you have an emotional range within the constitution of a character. Because the character, the difference between a character is really preferences. So if one character likes something and you don't like it, but you can adopt their likes and dislikes and live into that role and get their emotional range and play it with integrity, you're going to feel pretty good about yourself. If you look at a cold reading and you see it in your mind's eye and you have an idea of what is required in the scene for the scene to be effective, or we naturally read something, we get an idea of what is going to be needed within the realm of the character. Or some of you don't even do that yet and just don't even know when you read a scene, you go, oh my God, what am I doing? There's a point in which your ability to apply yourself, your instrument, your ability to not only apply your instrument, but your ability to apply your emotional range to it, your ability to apply your vision or your understanding or to love the role and to play it with all your heart, all of that comes under competence level. And so your competence level is so important because the more confident you feel and the more you feel like you can bring to the art, the more confidence you'll have. So the vital thing is to absolutely not take it personally where you are in your art, your craft. Because another thing that I've learned is it doesn't matter where you are in your evolution of your art, as long as you're on the road. But if you're not on the road to developing your craft and developing your instrument, then you're going to be caught up in how other people think of you and whether or not you feel liked or whether or not they're going to give you the job because they like you. And if you're stuck on feeling liked or likable, then you can't love yourself. And loving yourself is the development of the artist. I mean, really getting into, and sometimes we say, oh God, isn't that sort of egotistical, loving yourself? Well, in a way, but in a way it isn't. Because if you can love the art, you'll, in such a way that you're willing to devote yourself to it. In a way that you sort of fall in love with the art, you fall in love with what, what you're passionate about. You're lit up from within. And that is contagious. I think that there's a lot of, a lot of actors out there that are doing it. They're so in love with their art. But it's amazing, the ones that deliver consistently, no matter what people say about them, they consistently work. So it's like, where is your devotion? Is your devotion to the approval of others, or is your devotion to the actual development of your craft? And if it is about craft, and if you can be about craft, then you're going to be wanting to work on it all the time, to develop it, strengthen it, and create inspired performances consistently. So that's what I'm inviting you to do in your work, is to love it and let the love shine through you. And I think that you'll be much more satisfied with yourself, and as well as separating the ego and the personal from the instrument that you're trying to sort of navigate in a field that's very difficult, as well as own your own instrument and know your range and be able to deliver consistently. So, happy auditioning.